marker. That's what I want. Okay, this is where it gets exciting. I hope you have your pens ready. It is double credit and it's a new month and it's our final 4. It is the last 4 months of our fiscal year and everybody has big goals. I have big goals. I've had consultants text me throughout the week that they want more from their business or no one's booking with them or they need to, well, I mean, we've got future directors here that are constantly wanting more. It's time to get real. Okay, I am going to go through 4 major points tonight. So you can, if you like to number your notes, it's 1 through 4. But when I get to number 4, I am also going to be covering the 10 reasons why people do not book with you. And we only have time tonight to go through 1 and 2. So you can keep your notes going. And if you want to put number 4 on a separate page, the 10 reasons why people don't book with you. I'm going to eventually cover this month all 10 reasons why people will not book an appointment with you. Because I think we got to take a hard look at what's going on. So the number 1 way to make money in this business is booking appointment. You have to build a customer base. Okay. And it's hard, but that's part of the work. If everybody could just buy a $10 consultant ID and start making $40,000 income immediately with Mary Kay just by holding up a catalog, then everyone in the world would be a Mary Kay consultant. It does take work, okay? But it's probably some of the best, most rewarding, highest paying work with flexibility in the business. I've looked out there, I've compared it. So it's work worth doing. Number 1, you've got to have bookings. Okay. So, and with that number 1, a lot of times people tell me they don't have names. I'm running out of names to book. I'm running out of names to put on a bubble sheet. Who feels like they're running out of names and they keep touching the same names that they've touched over and over and over again? Okay. If Facebook is working and you go to Facebook and you look at anybody who has liked one of your posts, you have a new name. That's one. I hope you're writing this down because fire hose is coming. Here it comes fast. If you go up into Instagram or Facebook and they are watching your story, you hit story right here. Look, I have 36 people who saw me at the beach today. Tap on that. I have 36 names of people who know exactly what I do all day long. You have names in your stories. If you have a full-time job, I'm on number 3. If you have a full-time job, you have names. Number 4, if you used to have a different job within the last 5 years, you have names. If you go to church, you have names. If you sit at your children's practice, you have names. I just gave you 6 ways to find names. If you really get desperate, you can go into the yellow pages. But those are 6 ways to find names that is not texting someone you haven't spoken to in years, because that is someone you've had a recent contact with. I can give you a 7th one too, but nobody likes number 7. Your family. You have names. Why did balloons just go up? Okay, that was number 1. Because we've always heard in Mary Kay, if you're out of names, you're out of business. Because some of the Mary Kay nationals will say, if you're out of bookings, you're out of if you're out of bookings, you're out of business. But I personally think if you don't even have the names to book, you're out of business. So you need the names first. Get you some names. That's just sit down and come up with a list of names to work with. Oh, go back. I got number 8. There's another way to get names. Anybody who's ever bought a product from you, you have names. I just gave you 8 ways to find names. I know you can find 100 people from those 8 ways. Okay? You have names. Number 2. The number 2 thing I want to talk about tonight is the 95-5 rule. 95-5. You can write it down. 95-5. Where's the chat? There's questions. I can't even see the chat. I want to make sure I'm not missing a question. Where's the question? Where's the chat? Oh, there it is. Anybody that has a face, Stephanie said. Yep. Okay. We're on to number 2, 95-5 rule. Got it? 95-5. When I say 95-5, I mean like this. 95-5. This is the rule. 95. 95% of your business should be all about customer acquisition. 95% of the time spent on your business should be customer acquisition. The other 5% of your time is spent doing your weekly accomplishment sheet, doing your paperwork, making a pretty Facebook post. 95% of your time should be finding customers. If you can't find customers, you're going to be out of business. And that's usually a lot of times what happens to a Mary Kay consultant is they don't have enough customers to keep moving forward. They're spending too much time trying to print postcards and trying to find vendor events and just sit around on Facebook and look for things to go do. 95% of the time, you need to be working on getting customers. Okay. You get customers 3 ways. So I'm still on number 2, but 95% of your time, here we go. 1, 2, and 3. The number 1 way you get customers is through parties and appointments. That's getting a new customer. Now, here's the harsh reality about that. It is also the least profitable. Okay, stay with me now. It is the least, you're going to make the least amount of profit. Sometimes you just break even. But the number 1, there's 3 ways when customer acquisition. Number 1, you've got to get the customer. You get them at a party or you get them at an appointment. And that's when you make the least amount of profit. So we know in Mary Kay, we're supposed to make a 50% profit. But typically when we are getting the customer for the first time, we're not going to make we're not going to make a 50% profit. We're probably going to make a 30% profit. Why? Because if they're a hostess, we've given them a hostess prize to have the party. Okay. If they are brand new, we probably made them a goodie bag. If they came from a facial box, we probably said, you won a $15 gift certificate to come. So somewhere along that lines, that very first level of getting a new customer is the least amount of profit you're ever going to make from that person. But that's number 1. You've got to do that. Okay. Then number 2 is getting the customer deeper. Getting the customer deeper on more products. This is the second most profitable way to have a customer, because, and now this, we're still not making a perfect 50% profit here, because sometimes we get them on deeper because we had to give them a sample in their last purchase. So the sample does cost money. Or we got them on more product because they took it at 50% off. Okay. So we're still not making the most amount of profit at level 2 by getting the customer deeper. And then number 3, reorders, baby. And your reorders are your most profitable form of business. You are going to truly make your biggest profit margin off of reorders. Because they usually text you what they need. So it absolutely costs you no time investment. You didn't have to send them a sample. They didn't have to book a party. You didn't have to give them anything. And they're probably going to pay full price for it. Then you can add on some of those 50% off items later. But you're not going to have customers at step 3 until you do step 1, step 2, step 3. 95% of your time needs to be working through all of those steps. Finding new customers, taking the customers you have and making them deeper. And then you have got to have a rock solid system for following up to get step 3. And those 3 ways is what 95% of your business should be about. Customer acquisition. Do you try to get a customer that is reordering to have a party? Why? Sure, you can. Yeah. Absolutely. Especially if they want a whole bunch of stuff and they're telling you that they are on a budget. Hey, I got a plan. Why don't we do this? Okay. Number 3. Let's move on. Number 3. Oh, I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Number 3. Your booking scripts. Well, I'm going to give you a script, but I don't want you to text it. I think, and I've been talking to Ren and Taylor, my top 2, about this. They're looking at me like, yep, here it comes. Have you looked at your phone in the last week? Politicians and all of the outlet stores and all of the major marketers have ruined text messaging. People look at text messaging and swipe it clean. If you are doing 2 full bubble sheets with text messaging, I think you're only going to get about a 10% reply. So out of 2 whole sheets, you might only get 1 row of people replying to you. We got to get back to the voice. We've got to be the voice again. You can call people if you have time, or you can send a voice memo. Facebook has it to where you can record your voice and send it. That is very effective. There's also little apps on your phone where you can record your voice and send it that way. But I would highly encourage using your voice. Okay, here's a script, because people are only going to buy, because I want to talk about parties. Okay, all of this training is about booking parties for double credit. Okay, you got to have names. You got to really remind yourself what you're focused on. And number 3, your script has really got to be rock solid. It makes you nervous sweat. Yes. Yeah. Oh God, what was I going to say? Because some of the complaints I get from different consultants is that everybody's telling me no. Okay, well, people tell you no because they don't want the product, or it doesn't follow a solution. So whatever you say in your script, people are going to buy. People are going to say yes because they want it, or it solves a problem. Let that sink in. So moving forward from here on out, they're going to buy because they flat out want it, or it solves a problem. Right? They want it, or it solves a problem. Not because you told them to buy it. Not because, in fact, usually price it's not even an objection. Because if I know that if it solves my acne, I don't really care what it costs. Think about my battle with weight loss. I've paid some stupid amounts of money before because they promised me it would work. Because it solved a problem. They don't care the price. If it solves a problem, they're going to buy it. Or if they just flat out want it, like that is the coolest thing I've ever seen since sliced bread. They're going to want it. So a lot of times, if you are just reaching out to somebody and saying, hey, you want to book a party? They're going to say no, or they're going to politely say, I'm too busy. I got too much going on right now. I'm too overwhelmed. It's not in my budget. I didn't ask you to buy nothing. They give you some type of excuse because they don't want it. You have not proven to them that it solves the problem. Okay. In our team, in our dance unit, we are trying, our March promotion for hostesses is to give them a free eye palette. You know how we used to do the pumpkin spice palette for pumpkin spice latte parties? We're doing a similar thing where it's doing a spring palette latte, like spring palette giveaway when they book a party. Okay. But here's the script that I'm coming up with. First of all, you've got to say, hey, it's Bree, and then quit the jibber jabber. Let them know immediately why you're calling, especially if you're on the phone. The next words out of your mouth should be, the reason I'm calling is. You can write that one down and take it to the bank. On Saturday, I ate the frog as well, and I made 17 phone calls. I booked 5 people on the spot for an event. I sold $600. Keep in mind, all 17 people had already gotten 2 text messages from me and had never replied. But when I called them, it was like they had heard the message for the very first time, because they aren't reading the text messages, folks. Okay. Hey, this is Bree Stillings, the Mary Kay lady that you met at that vendor event. The reason I'm calling is, go right into your reason. Okay. Now, the reason you're calling, you need to have something that they need or something that they want. So, hey, this is Bree Stillings, your Mary Kay ninja. The reason I'm calling is it's double deals month, which means it's double credit for Mary Kay girls. And to make matters even better, I have a beautiful eye palette with beautiful greens and golds that I am giving away to all of my customers who can help me max out double credit. Do you want to see the eye palette?
Could you try?
Do you want to see the eye palette? Okay. That's all I'm asking first. Okay. So what am I telling them? I'm telling them that I've got something free. And most women need something for some. Already overcoming the objective. I didn't ask them if they had time to book, because once they see the eye palette and they know the eye palette's free, if they want the eye palette and if they need it for free, then they'll find a way to have a party. So I don't even mention that it's a party yet. I need to find out first if they want the colors and if they need it for free. Then they'll find a way. So I'm asking them, first of all, do you want to see the color palette? If they say yes, that's when I'm going to pick up the phone and call them, because I'm sending voice memos. Shh. Okay. But that's the script I'm using. Okay. All right. Yep, voice texting. Now, I just want to clarify. You said voice texting. You're sending a recording of your voice, not voice to text. Yeah, because I think when I say voice text, like when you hold down the microphone and it fills out the words for you, that's still a text message. You've got to send your voice. And they have to hear the passion behind it. Okay. So that you've got to really harp in on their need, because if you find out that they need it for free because they're on a budget, and you find out that they really like those colors, whether or not they are out of time, it doesn't even matter, because you have so many different ways for them to have a party. They can have a catalog party, online party, Facebook party, Zoom party, in-person party, party at the Pink Suite. You have so many ways. So that's not even the object right now. The main concern is, do they want it? Do they need it for free? And then move forward. Then pick up the phone and start booking them. Go through all the options and see what works best for them. Because the other thing is, I also never said the word party. And when you do the math, you know, like I kind of said they had to sell $150 originally to justify giving away the eye palette. Well, now I've switched it up because I did the math. Find 3 people who want a 50% off item. Because if they find 3 people that spend $50 plus the 50%, that's $150 already. Find 3. Do you know? And here's another phrase to write down when you're asking for referrals or when you're trying to get them to book a party. I want you to listen. I want you to feel what happens to your body when I ask you this. Put your pen down for a second. Do you know anybody who wants to sell Mary Kay right now? Okay. Did you feel what your body did? Now I want you to feel what your body does when I say this. Who do you know that needs to hear the opportunity? What did your body just do? What did your mind just do? When I changed the question from do, which is a yes or no question, to a who question, I now started going through my Rolodex in my phone trying to think of names. So instead of asking your question, do your customer, do you know anybody who would like to come to the Pink Suite? Do you know anybody who would want to get together for some pampering time? Change your question to who do you know? Because now people automatically go to their dial and they're like thinking of the names. Because I didn't ask you yes or no. I said who. Okay, number 4. This is the biggie. This is the one you might want to put on a separate sheet of paper. 10 reasons why people do not book with you. And I'm only going to talk about number 1 and number 2 tonight, and then we're going to run out of time. Number 1, you're not selling a solution. You have to sell a solution. I think that's why I sold 17 bottles of sunscreen a couple weeks ago, is because I was selling a solution to people who do not like have sensitive skin and need a mineral sunscreen. Sell the solution. And number 2, the number 2 reason why people don't book with you, you're actually missing the buying signals. They're actually ready to buy and you missed it. They asked you, how much does it cost? They asked you, how long does it last? And you just answered the question and then waited for the next question. Or you just answered the question and then rolled on to the rest of your presentation. If somebody asks a question, that subconsciously, that means that they are processing that product. That's a sign for you to pull back, go in deeper, and go ahead and ask if that's what they wanted to put on their wish list. Or as far as booking goes, like if they ask me, what do I have to do? Right there, I know I've got a hostess, because I will overcome any objective that she has, and I will find a way for her to have a party. So if they ask, what do I have to do? How much time is that going to take? What if I don't do that? If they ask a question, you need to pull back and zero in. That is a signal that they are ready to buy. All right, let's go back to double credit. That's it for my training 1 through 4. Let's go back to double credit. I want to share this PowerPoint again so that you can see what the numbers actually mean. We got a lot of new consultants on here, so I want to make sure everybody really understands what double credit means. Double credit means we buy everything wholesale, and then it counts for our end of the year goals towards retail. So when we talk about Queen's Quarter Sales, there's quite a few people on this call that have earned Queen's Quarter Sales. Leanne and I have both done it a couple of times. And then we've got a couple people who've done Princess Court. Ren and Taylor have both done that a couple of times. When you're looking at those end of the year goals, what that means, if you have done Queen's Quarter sales, you have sold the retail value of 40,000, which means you've ordered 20,000. Princess Court means that you have sold the value of 20,000, but you've ordered 10. Okay? When it is double credit, that means that your $600 order this month counts towards or counts as $2,400 towards your Princess Quarter sales. If you are behind where you want to be right now for Princess or Queen's Court, now's your chance to catch up. If you normally do 600, keep on doing what you do, and it's going to count as 2,400. But what if you push yourself to 1,000? It's going to count as 4,000 retail. That's huge, because maybe you only have 4,000 in for the year at all so far, all year long, and you're only at 4,000 retail. That's okay. Do 1,000 wholesale this month. Now you'll be at 8 retail, which means you're only 2,000 away from being considered 10, which is in our units quarter sales. When we look at the end of the year, Jamie and I, we buy gifts for everybody who's got 10,000 and above. We call them the Duchess Quarter sales, and then the Princess Quarter sales. You want to at least be in over 10,000. Quarter sharing is the same way. Quarter sharing, they count twice. The great thing is you don't even have to get them qualified until June. The agreements this month are $10. When Jamie says pull the Spanx off of your brain, I really need you to pull the Spanx off your brain. What does that mean? Stop thinking that 1 or 2 team members would be awesome. I want you to start thinking that 5 or 6 team members are going to be awesome. At $10 a pop, there are going to be people all over America this month that double gold medal. You're going to see that on Instagram. Double gold medal. You know what that means? That means they added 10 new consultants in the month by themselves. They're going to be all over. Double gold medals everywhere in the country. Look at me in the eyeballs and tell me that they are better than you, that they are more special than you. They're not. They put their pants on the same way that you put your pants on. The only difference is they think big. And I need you to think big right now. I need you to go back to day 1, the day you joined Mary Kay. Because on that day, you had a why. You said to yourself, the reason I want to do this, some of you said why? Because you need your platform to change. You need to be in a different role. Some of you said yes because you want to change your money story. You need to change the financial story of your family. And then somewhere along the lines, you got a little scared and you stopped going after those dreams and you felt it was okay to settle. You thought it was just okay to do $225 one month. Why are you giving up on yourself? I'm looking at you right now and I'm telling you that you are the only thing holding yourself back. It is not the women. It is not the business. Mary Kay works. It's not the product. It's not too expensive. The only thing holding you back is your ability to dream big and believe that another money story is possible for you. That's the only thing. You got started, you got scared, and you settled. And I want you to think back to all of that that's happened over, I don't know if it's been 6 months, 8 months, 5 years, 6 years. Think back. Take charge of what you want the next 5 years to look like. In the next 5 years, I'm going to be 50. And I can ask myself right now, if I want to be 50 and I want to retire early and be a director, because that's what I am right now. Or do I want to be 50 and I retire as an elite executive sales director, finishing up my national area? Because I can get both of those goals done in 5 years. That's plenty of time to add 5 to 8 first-line directors in the next 5 years. Easy. It's whether or not I'm going to stick with it and go for it. The only thing holding me back from what my life looks like in the next 5 years on my 50th birthday is me. And I want you to say to yourself right now, what is holding me back? This whole series on risk takers that we've been doing has been about that. We've heard national sales directors talk to us each week about the risk that they took. Some of them went to career conference for the first time. Some of them took a leave of absence for a week so they could focus on their business and then never went back to work. Some of them, their big risk was buying inventory. What was that risk? And what is the risk that's holding you back? I felt like I have grown so much this week because I have been terrified to call people on the phone. And I think in the last 6 years of my business, I have never called on the phone for a booking. But I did it last Saturday. And I'm having, the results were wonderful. I'm sold. That was the risk I had to take. Jamie asked me afterwards, how do you feel? And I said, I feel like Gloria Mayfield Banks right now. What is holding you back? Is it a fear of actually having a party? Is it a fear of calling people? Is it even a fear of telling everybody that you're selling Mary Kay? What is holding you back right now? The people who are going to win the biggest right now in double credit, there's 2 people that are going to win the biggest right now. The group at the top, the group who are trying to finish quarter sales and trying to finish up quarter sharing, they understand what double credit means and they are maximizing their business. Because you will see diamond rings finish this month. You will see quarter sharing finish this month. You will see people double gold medal this month. You will see it all. But you know who the other group who is going to win the most for double credit? New consultants. Every new consultant still within their great start period. If you are a great start consultant, that would be Shirley. I don't know. Maybe Shirley might be the only one watching right now who's in their great start period. So I'm glad this is being recorded. A new consultant that places a $600 order also gets that free bundle. Well, guess what? That free bundle is counted double towards their quarter sales. Stop and shut the front door. So a new consultant who places an $1,800 order is going to earn 3 bonuses valued at normally $360. But it's going to count as over $600 double credit retail. So just to throw you out some numbers, a new consultant who comes in with an $1,800 order is actually going to walk away with $8,000 immediately in retail production. They're already almost in Duchess quarter sales from one order, $1,800 in inventory. Now, if a new team member, if a new consultant in their great start period adds a new team member, so all the newbies, y'all need to be recruiting like rock stars right now. Because when you bring on a new team member for $10, you also get a bonus And that bonus is double. So if you bring in, if you yourself place an inventory order of 1,800 and then add 3 team members for $10 and then they order, your retail credit is $9,000 retail, but you're also walking away with $1,440 of free product into your store. I want to be a new consultant right now. And we need to be recruiting newbies and tell them that. Because right now, when they add team members or they buy their inventory this month, all of it counts double. The new consultants are going to catch up with us this month if they play the numbers right. All right, I am going to go to our last video of risk takers. Laura McKeever, and she talks about a risk that she takes. Since we're talking about risk taking. That's not it. Laura McKeever.
Hello, Bob.
Uh-oh. Let me try that again. Let's refresh it.
Hello, boss babes. Oh my goodness, I am absolutely loving this risk series. My name is Independent National Sales Director Laura McKeever from Dillsburg, Pennsylvania. And I have right here on my desk, I keep this on a sticky note, a little quote that says, "You must make a choice to take a chance or your life will never change." And today I want to change that to, you must make a choice to take a risk or your life will never change. Karen Reidel, National Sales Director, thank you for challenging us all to take risks, because at every level, in order for us to go to our next new height, we need to take risks. And you challenged me to do the same. Well, I like to define taking a risk as stepping out on faith. Risk can sound like a fearful word, but when you connect it to having faith rather than fear, it can change your world. It can change the world. What if Mary Kay Ash didn't step out on faith and take the risk to use all of her savings and start Mary Kay Cosmetics? I think quite often of where I would be if I hadn't taken risks in my business, and the what ifs. What if I gave into fear rather than faith? God used this business to truly save my life. I signed my agreement 30 years ago, right before Christmas, so that I could get my products at a discount. I was in an unhealthy relationship and my self-esteem was in the toilet, literally. My first big risk that I took, and I feel truly is why I am an NSD and National Sales Director today, came 16 months ago into the business. Actually, 16 months into the business. It was right before career conference. I was single, no kids, and in my early 20s. I was working full-time as an office manager in a counseling service, and this particular day, the toilet, see what I mean of literally in the toilet? This particular day, the toilet overflowed. One of the therapists came into my office and said, "Toilet overflowed, clean it up." That's when I remembered the question that my director asked me when I signed my agreement. She said, "Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?" Back then, I thought, lady, I don't know where I'm going to be 5 minutes from now, let alone 5 years. But on this day, I was so glad that she planted that seed with me. Because in that moment, that I was expected to clean up that mess in the office bathroom is when I had my epiphany. Did I want to continue to work for someone else for the rest of my life? I love my bosses and I like my job, but what I didn't like was the 9 to 5 grind that didn't give me flexibility and freedom. And I was devoting all of my time to secure the future of my boss's legacy rather than my own. I did what I encourage all of you to do when you have a bad day like this and called my sales director. I told her I was sick and tired of being sick and tired and that I wanted to quit my job, but I didn't see any possible way. I didn't have a husband's income to fall back on, and I would need health insurance. She shared how to make the desired income that I would need, but what was holding me back was that health insurance. That's when she told me to earn a car. I had been in the business for 16 months and didn't know how the qualifications of what that even meant. She shared them with me and said she would help me every step of the way. She said that by freeing up my car payment and car insurance, not to mention all the shop visits when the car broke down, it would help me put that money into paying for health insurance. Wow, it's like a hallelujah chorus went off. So she gave me a challenge to do a power burst of activity, which was 10 sharing appointments in one day with her. We held 10 individual in-person sharing appointments back to back, and 4 people signed on the spot. And the last one that I booked for the end of the day was my best friend that was super negative about my business. She even told me she was allergic to the product. I wasn't going to ask her to help me with my share challenge, but she was the only one left to ask. You see, 2 sisters and a cousin were in the business before me, and they consumed most of the family and friends. I only had about 15 to 20 customers at that point from a perfect start I had done 15 months prior. My perfect start led to a power stop. I did nothing else in that time frame. Well, I saved my best friend for last because I didn't want to start on what I assumed would be a negative. Well, guess what? She not only was the 4th one to sign her agreement that day, but she was so eager to get started that my director did her orientation right away, and she gave a credit card on the spot for a $3,600 inventory. As a result of those 4 new consultants and another team member that reactivated, I went on target for my car. I wasn't even an active red jacket. All my team members were inactive. I was in the red jacket cha-cha before that. In the red jacket, out of the red jacket, in the red jacket, out of the red jacket. But back then, it was a full 4-month qualification to earn your car. But I took a risk, and the next month, I submitted my resignation for my employer to my employer, and 3 weeks later, I was full-time in my 2nd month of car qualification. I hadn't even earned it yet, but I took the risk. I burned my boat. You may not know what that story means. Google it. It means having a no plan B decision and not looking back. I stepped out on faith in taking this risk. I needed to focus. And what I realized, and she helped me with, is I needed to focus on 6 most important things. Does this look familiar? This prize, this sore prize? Yes, I'm going to share with you the 6 most important things that I did in order to take a risk, step out on faith, and to go on to earn that car that 4 months. And guess what? I did it. And I have been full-time ever since. I believe that it's because of those 4 months of qualification and taking that risk that today I am an independent national sales director. What is holding you back from your greatest life? Number 1, I committed. It was the culture of commit rather than quit. The battlefield of the mind is so strong. It's you versus you. You have to win over the negative mindset every single day. It may not be easy, but it will be worth it. I promise you. Get in the game. I was committed to be in the game, to work the magic formula of 3 plus 3 plus 3, right? 3 parties held minimally, held, not just booked, held minimally, $300 minimum in sales, and 3 sharing appointments each and every week. Did you come into Mary Kay for something to do or to do something? If you quit, you give up on what God is doing through you and for you. What is your why? What brings you to tears? In my focus folder, this is one of them. This is the one when I was earning my Cadillac, right in the middle. And even still today, I'm doing my new one this month. I'm a little behind because I've been on vacation, but I will put my family's face in here. My future grandchildren. I don't have grandchildren yet, but I'll be putting their faces in because everything I do today affects my why. What is your why? What brings you to tears? That's where you'll find it. I had to commit to having to practice optimism daily, using daily affirmations and declarations because I was programmed by nature negatively. I didn't even realize I was. Number two, to plan your work and work your plan. Are you treating your business like a business or a hobby? Mary Kay said your priority should be faith, family, career. Mary Kay, third, not 33rd. It's not how much time you have. It's what you do with your time. Remember that power day I had? Yeah, IPAs, income producing activities, rather than creative avoidance, seeing new faces, new share appointments, they are priority. Labeling products, scrolling on social media isn't. Eliminate time wasters. Say no more often and delegate. Number three, discipline, working out of discipline, not emotion, having a milking the cows attitude. Oh, farmers, if grandma passes away, they still have to wake up and milk the cows. They still have to work the business. That's what the attitude we need to have, as Linda Tupin has always taught us. Do you work the 21-day booking plan that helps you work out of discipline and not emotion, right? It's a proven system to help you organize your leads and to track your number of booking attempts and celebrate your activity rather than the no's. Ask your director about that. Number four, work the numbers. People may fool you, but numbers never will. It's a numbers game. Increase your number of booking calls if you aren't getting your desired results. Never prejudge anyone. Number five, accountability. Communicate and coach with your director and your national sales director, not your Mary Kay girlfriend, not someone else's director, not your adopted director even, your own director. Your success is your director's success too. She will know just what you need and will help you figure it out. Be open to tough conversations with her and be honest with her as well. She is your partner and she wants you to succeed. And last is number six, take God as your business partner. Proverbs 16:3. Commit your actions to the Lord and your plans will succeed. I like to view taking a risk as trusting in God and allowing Him to work abundantly through me. I must choose faith over fear, and so must you. If He brought you to it, then He will bring you through it. If you give up on your goals or quit, you are giving up on what He is trying to do for you and through you. What is holding you back? What are you missing out on because you wouldn't dare risk or simply try? What do you have to lose? But what do you have to gain? If you want to change the fruits, you will first need to change the roots. If you want to change the visible, you must first change the invisible. You must make a choice to take a chance or to take a risk, or your life will never change. Now, set a great, big, risky goal, one so big that you can't do it alone, as in one that is gonna take God's help. Because playing small doesn't serve God. He is in the great, big, scary, risky goals because He wants to use your story for His ultimate glory. God bless you. You can do it.
She ended it perfectly. She ended it perfectly. That sums up our night of risk taking and our risk taking series. And they had no idea when they made that was going to land in double credit month. As Jamie says, take the Spanx off of your brain because I can just feel you playing small by saying it's okay to stand right here. And I want you to enlarge. If you need to visualize me wearing a bikini, go for it. Because it's not pretty anymore. Because that's what it takes. You put them Spanx on, you try to look all controlled and pulled together, you're not going anywhere. Let it go. Let it go. I put a quote in the chat. The magic that you're waiting on right now, the magic is sitting there waiting on you in the work that you are putting off. You can put it on a sticky note and look at it all week. The magic is in the work you are putting off. You want magic in this business? Stop putting off the work. And I promise you, I will meet you in the work. Have a fantastic week. Brainstorm with your sales director. And I cannot wait to see what 7 days of your business looks like when you go for it. Have a great night, everybody. Bye.